I think from the very beginning I was very active in school and different activities, and then in high school I became real active with the Neighborhood Youth Organization, which did a lot of civil rights work and a lot of citizenship work and community work. And I think that kind of sparked me. I became active on the national level, went to the national conference, went to an international conference in Israel for 6 weeks, and our focus was really on civil and human rights, and that's what kind of got me really dedicated.
Yeah, and you never left that dedication.
No.
Would you talk a little bit about the work that you've done on women's history, because the Hall of Fame is obviously a great example of that. We know that you coordinated the Maryland Women's History Project and are program director for the Maryland Women's Heritage Center.
Yes, I was lucky when I started working at the Maryland State Department of Education. Jill Moss Greenberg had started and initiated with the Commission for Women a Women's History Project. And I was fortunate enough to come in and adopt it.
Right now and where we're headed in the future. And so today we've been talking about a very serious subject, trafficking.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you're addressing this topic. And I know that having a teen, Brooke Burkhart, who worked on it and continues to work on it, I hope will be really inspiring to other young people working on it. I think what a lot of people don't realize is that while Brooke emphasized the work with the United Nations and throughout the world and developing countries, it's also here in Maryland. It's in the United States.
More than we would even want to think about, right?
Much more. And it's prevalent in many of our counties, and people don't realize that they have women, some men, but largely women, who are forced into human slavery and sexual slavery against their wills in our own state.
Well, I had a guest on the show on Women Talk Live several weeks ago, and he had been to the Super Bowl game. And he said the biggest surprise to him was finding out that our Super Bowl events are the largest sexual trafficking events that go on.
In the whole year. This
Everywhere.
interview is a little bit different because this is honoring Jean Cryer, who is deceased, but what a legacy she has left. And we're getting to interview today one of her daughters, Allison Cryer DiNardo, and she's kept her mother's name for her middle name, as I have with mine, so feel about it very much. So I'll be asking you about your mom,
Okay.
and which is wonderful to have a daughter talk about her.
Yeah, sure.
What was it about your mom growing up that helped shape how you and your sisters have grown?
Well, I think first of all, she was educated by the Religious and Sacred Heart, which are a group of very strong-willed, well-educated women who really believed that young women couldn't be limited by what they could do. She heard that message loud and clear, and she taught it to us as well. She was inspired by her father's love of reading. Her father died when she was young, right after he came back from World War II. He was a physician, and the one thing they loved to do together was to go to the library. And so it's always been a favorite of hers. And she was a voracious reader, and both fiction and nonfiction. And I think
And a wonderful writer.
And a good writer, too. But as she said, the best writers are those who read an awful lot, as she told us over and over again as
It's a
children.
wonderful event, and to have your mother honored is very special.
Well, it's great for us.
Yeah. What do you think you feel most proud of in terms of her accomplishments?
Well, I think my mother was a real winner in so many ways. I mean, she was able to have a family, she had a career, she had multiple careers. She was publisher of the Gazette newspapers, she was a state legislator, she was a member of the Planning Commission in Montgomery County, but she also was, she taught at Montgomery College, state and local government. There were so many parts that she was still always willing to.
You are working on the State Board of Education,
Yes.
which is preschool through 12th grade, and as well as at the community college, Prince George's K.
Well, it's amazing because I have been at Prince George's Community College since 1995. I came to Maryland as Vice President for Student Services, and just about almost 6 years ago, and on July 1 of 2007, I was appointed as president of the college, where we serve 44,000 students, and those students are doing great things all over the county, the region, and certainly the nation.
That's great.
And then I've had the pleasure of serving on the State Board of Education. Gubernatorial appointment, Governor O'Malley appointed me in 2007, and just this past July, I was elected president of the State Board after having served as vice president for probably just about 3 terms.
So you have a unique hat in being 2 presidents at once.
And you know, it's amazing because with the State Board of Education, we are, through policy and regulation, having the opportunity to touch the lives of almost 1 million children enrolled in Maryland's public schools.
Maryland Women's Hall of Fame.
Thank you. I consider this quite an honor.
Yeah, it is, and you're joining some tremendous company, as you know.
I am aware of that.
Yeah.
That's rather awesome.
It is. I know. It's very overwhelming almost, isn't it? Could you tell us a little bit what you think in your life led you into these endeavors that you've been in that have caused you to be such an achiever?
Well, I had parents who were very encouraging, and they created quite a competitive spirit in me at a very young age. But I really expected to be a high school biology teacher, and I had a true life-changing experience. My husband is a first-generation American. His parents were both born in Germany, and at that time Germany was divided by a wall, East and West Germany.